Hi, I'm Jerry. We're based in Brisbane, from Southside, accountant. I was working for a different company for 7 or 8 years before I started my business. At that time, I've been reporting to my boss, and then pretty much he's my only one client. Explain all the numbers, where things come from, why you're short of the cash, how you're going to be look like in the next 10 years or 10 months or a few years. And then a lot of my friends at that time, they start their own business. I built out my career, but they built out their business. At that point, a lot of time people just come to me say, why are you paying so much tax? And then I'm supposed to have money and be getting rich. Where's my cash? And a lot of these questions I thought quite normal to explain as an accountant. After time and time, I try a few times, so just say, wow, apparently there's a demand in the market. Everyone asks the same question, why I just started. So I start my business. When I start my business, I try to went through the traditional model, buy a practice, buy a fee, but it doesn't work out. We tried a few companies, different people, and then they always come to me saying, I want $1 for my $1 client fee, so 1-to-1. So for me, I can't see the return for me. So pretty much I buy him out, and then I'm going into the old job, old habit. So at that time, that's around 2011. So the whole Zero thing, cloud computing stuff coming in. So pretty much I can start my client base or business with one client with a monthly fee. Paying costs, that's it, I can start it. No fixed cost really. So that's why I start from one client and with monthly fee. Pretty much I package everything into the monthly fee. That's how it got started.
Yeah.
Yeah, I start from there because all my costs paying by monthly. So my client paying by monthly. So I survive. So yeah, that's how the whole thing started. Yeah.
So I came to Australia in 2009, did my master's in marketing degree here. And then after I graduated, I worked in the corporate marketing world for about 4 years. And then after that, I set up Meow Media. While I was working, I noticed that there was a very clear gap between the Chinese culture and also the Western world English culture. A lot of Chinese business people, they come to Australia thinking that their products or services can only be sold to the Chinese in that country, which is not true. They just don't know how to market their products to the local market. And on the other side, a lot of Australian businesses, they see these affluent Chinese immigrants coming to Australia young here, and they don't know how to strategically get into this niche market. So there's a cross-cultural marketing solutions need to be happening. That's why I decided, okay, I'm gonna fill in that gap, and Meow Media is positioned to meet that need. So we're in the 5th year now. It's been 4 years, and we've learned a lot. In the first 2 years, we've only been focusing on offering such a solution in Australia, and then we found out, this is actually a pain we could sell in other countries as well, because it's a very similar situation in the United States, in Canada, New Zealand, Japan. So we simply replicate the current model we have in Australia to other countries as well, and it equally worked, which is really good because that means our business model is scalable. It's not confined by the geographic region that our team is located in.
So tonight, our topic is about the recurring revenue business model. So can you tell us a bit more about this model that has been currently implemented in your business?
Yeah, so when I started, and we say we got one client, no choice, pretty much maximum he can pay. That's what we do. We pretty much chuck in everything we have. I'm the only one resource. So chuck in that. During the early stage, so you're not limited by so many things. So we wouldn't worry about profitability in here and there, but we got a stage myself time is limit. Even we got Dylan later on, we got staff, but still the scope, the limit of the service we can offer. So we started thinking, okay, that your package, that we start to say, if one client paying $400 per month, If this client got more difficult job, we just increase by $200 or $300 per month to cover everything. At that time, we pretty much cover all the software fee, government renewal fee, any registration fee, pretty much everything they can think about it. Then we can start thinking, okay, this business is so difficult, we'll have to push up a bit. At that time, pretty much at the stage, the first 4 or 5 years, pretty much we push all the monthly fee a lot, everything monthly. But soon pretty much we realized that two things will happen. Is one thing is clients think everything included. It's everything, they will ask you everything, they ask you do everything. Soon you'll burn down. That relationship can become very awkward. So it's not something you don't want to help, but you just really don't have time to help because you just barely got survive all the incomes, paid all the bill. Then the client asks you do this, do that. You're saying that's 1 month fee including everything. So we got 2-3 years to try to figure out where it went wrong, how we do something different. Around 6 years, then at that time, we think that it's not driven by the client business, it's driven by the demand. So we start to divide all the service into 3 categories. One is pretty much you got to have it. It's more like compliant. You have to deal with ATO, just normal stuff, no surprise. Everything will come in. As long as you're doing business, everything's same. Then the second level is more like a nice to have. Is something when you've done all the tax bill, when you got cash flow possible now. So what are you going to do better? So it's more like a cash flow, structural, asset protection. That's something you don't have to have, but will be nice to have for future. And then we structure the other fee is more like urgent job. It's more like ATO audit or some lawsuit with the business, some urgency you have to have, and you have to fix that problem in a rush. So that we have to divide that 3 service. And then the compliance service probably very easy. Once we know the client, we tell them, okay, clearly define the scope. Okay, that's included. If you want something different, that's these 2 category service. That's not included. And so client is happy. They know, okay, they pay the fee, and they call this time, okay, this free call. But I say, when you find something, okay, you better have a tax planning, and that wasn't included. You want to do it now, that's the package fee. So more like clearly define the product. People know how much they pay for. Is fit into different demand, and then we start getting more feedback. Client happy with it, so we got more resource. We know how much resource to allocate for that client. Yeah.
It's a very smart strategy. What about you, Lindsey?
So our business, Meow Media, is completely built based on a subscription model. For example, like search engine marketing services, Google Ads, social media, landing page design, EDM, it's all paid on weekly or monthly basis. So it's completely subscription. We don't do one-off projects. We try to fill one-off projects in the beginning of in the first 2 years, and then we quickly found out although you get like a big lump sum income coming in a very short time window, but it's actually quite a bit of disruption to your current processes. It's not in sync with the majority of the business model, which is on subscriptions. You run into time management issues, resource issues, and then in the end, everyone is like exhausted, burnout, just so that we can meet that one major project. Yes, exactly. So that's why we don't do it anymore. But we didn't really start this subscription model by strategy, because from the very beginning, how I decided was because I wanted to avoid the debt collection process. It was like dreadful to chase after someone for invoices. Before I quit my job and then started Meow Media, I was doing a bit of freelancing when I was still working. And at the time, there was this well-known TV personality, I wouldn't name her name, but I was doing some digital marketing services for her, and it was just extremely hard to get her pay anything. And it's not like making some threads works. A lot of the agencies, they'll be like, if you don't pay by this due date, we're going to activate our debt collection process. When I make that kind of stress, nobody takes me seriously. So it never worked. So in the end, the only thing worked with that TV personality was I just bluffed. I was like, okay, I've used a company. They use a unique way of debt collection, which is like they collecting debt on social media. And that TV personality, she's like a semi-celebrity, and she's got like a large following on social media. So next day she paid. So it was like really effective. But
That's good.
From that little experience, when I was still freelancing, I quickly realized, well, if I'm going to set up a proper business, it's got to be prepaid. And at the time, I was just looking through all these business models, and subscription made sense. And that was pretty much the one single reason that how we decided that way. But then later on, we realized a lot more benefits of having a subscription model.
Yeah, great.
Okay, so once you set up the subscription business model, how do you effectively sell the service subscription to your potential client?
Yeah. So I think just no different to any other business. You just like Lindsey said, just monthly fee, just kind of like a collection process. It's not really a selling process. Pretty much you build out all the product. That's pretty much a service. What included in the monthly fee, what's one-off fee, what the value is due. To see if you're paying this much by month, what you're gonna get. That end of the day result, because when we, as the accountant first started, there's pretty much everyone on time billing. How much time you spend on the job and then you charge it out, that pretty old school. And now most of the people, and especially Chinese, don't just hate it. Why you spend 2 hours on my phone call? I just call you, then for 15 minutes. I know you do research, but you shouldn't do research. But if you tell them, okay, I just save you $10,000 tax, and that's my $1,000 bill, and they're thinking, well, work. If I just pay the $1 grand, I save it by 10 grand, work a lot better. So we start to saying, doesn't matter how we pay it. So when the offer letter or the business proposal in place, we pretty much pick out all the issues from the previous accountant or the current business. Say, okay, this one will fit into the product we have for this one. There's a monthly fee of this much. It's a fundamental part. But the next stage, if you want to do some strategy meeting, if you want to turn the business around with cash flow issue or things like that, we're going to fix that much for this much dollar amount. Then that one-off product we normally pay by 50-50, 50% upfront and 50% when we finish, or 100% upfront but got some discount at the front. So it's just purely collection process, but it's still fundamental how your product will attract different people, I guess. Yeah. We got burned down when we initially bring that concept for $400 per month for accounting fee, because everyone think, oh, that's still $4 or $5 grand a year, so expensive. I still got some cheaper accountant on the way, but we got offering so much, we including so many things, but they look at the price tag first before they think of anything else. So we start to reverse that out, rolling out the product first, and then, okay, that's the fee, how you're going to pay us for maintaining the relationship. Yeah. Yeah, value definitely. Yeah.
Can you repeat that question again? I was really into. What was the question?
Like how you sell your service subscription to your potential client.
Right. Okay. So
be diversified.
Service subscription, whether it's subscription or not subscription, all services they need to demonstrate value.
Yeah.
So, in order to sell that, the value has to be tangible.
Yeah.
And with subscription, the unique part is because you're selling something that's ongoingly charging the client. So you need to make them feel there is a necessity of using your service on an ongoing basis. And that's the hard part, because a lot of subscription model, especially for professional services, it's a set scope of things that you deliver.
Yeah.
And then, as time goes on, and then client get used to, oh, okay, so I pay this much, I get this much. It's then the agency start taking things for granted, and then the client just knows that, oh, I can't have any higher expectations. That's it.
Yeah.
And that's when some subscription services can easily be replaced by their competitors because it's so set into this confined scope. So by saying that, I was trying to say, like, in order to sell it effectively, you will need to be able to let the client know that the value is not a fixed value. The value will always incrementally grow. We add new things to it. Like when we learn new techniques or new optimization strategy, we add into your product. You don't have to learn it yourself because we are keeping ourselves up to date with what's happening in the industry, that sort of thing. And then, the third part of selling subscription services effectively is you have to lower the entry level, lower the entry barrier as much as possible. If you can remove it completely, that would be great. A lot of subscription services, software subscriptions, they have one-off setup fees. That's a major turnoff to a lot of clients who wanted to use the service, but upfront I have to pay so much. So I would suggest all businesses, if you're looking into a subscription model, try to minimize that setup fee, like aiming for a zero profit, because you're banking on the long-term profitability. Why trying to make a little bit of profit upfront?
Yeah.
Okay, so Lindsey, I know the service that Meow Media offers don't have the lock-in contract.
No lock-in contract, that's right.
So without the contract in place, what is your strategy for client retention?
I want to hear that.
Good question.
Yeah.
Good question. Why do you think people stay in a partnership without a marriage certificate?
Happy.
Exactly, they're happy. They're coming from a married woman.
Still happy.
Okay, good to know. So it's very similar in an interpersonal relationship, and with the business relationship as well. People are happy. They want to stay with each other, and then they see value added to their life by being together. So with the no lock-in contracts, it not only just clearly showing the clients that they have a way out before they get in. One of our selling points is no lock-in contracts, and then they can appreciate that. But like, oh, okay. So although it sounds like a long-term commitment, but I can get out anytime. If I'm not happy with the ROI, I can get out. So for them, it's that level of flexibility that they can appreciate, and then they see that as value. And on the other hand, on our side, we see no lock-in contracts benefits with our services as well. It's a bit counterintuitive because there is a risk of not having a contract in place. The revenue you are getting in this month, you're not quite sure if next month it's still coming in. But risk is there, but we also hear a lot of horror stories about agencies getting into this, stuck in this business contractual relationship with a difficult client. That sort of struggle exists as well, so pros and cons. But in summary, I take it as a good thing because, firstly, it makes sure that we have to be really good. Like, we can't take things for granted. We just have to be good enough for the clients to feel like they want to stick with us. Yeah. And then secondly, this is also like a really good thing. It helps me keep my team vigilant and hardworking, because everything is tied to their KPI, cancellation rate, retention rate, that sort of thing. Yeah, so we can't take things for granted, and it works out. Yeah, the no lock-in contracts works great with the client, works great with ourselves internally as well.
Yeah.
And for you, Jerry, personally, do you prefer one-off project-based client work or the subscription-based client work, and why?
Both. I think just as long the collection process fit in the right need, I'm happy with either way. Because monthly contract is really good. It's give you some security on day one. You got some income coming in. You secure all the bill being paid, and just you got some confidence there. But our income is growing through the year every month. Just every year it's growing up. But the monthly fee ratio is up and down. Sometimes up, sometimes down. It depends on the client need. Sometimes we got a few clients when they come to us, they tell us, "Oh, I don't mind you send me invoice every month, but we pay it. Don't charge me directly," because they just been burned down from the previous accountant. The the different firm, they probably doing and the monthly fee and the given. They're not putting any new fresh strategy that they think, okay, that money there anyway, I'm secure. So I'm looking out for the other client first and the priority. That's something I find a lot of different repeating invoices, getting people into the habit. That guarantee money, I don't worry about it. I want to secure my unsecure part first. But I think that's a bit different. I think it's supposed to be the monthly fee should give you a more stronger relationship. And then when you charge for a more like a one-off fee, you tell the client, okay, that's something new we found. Last year you don't have this issue, we need to fix this issue, but to fix it, we got this cost to cover. So we have to charge you this fee to, if you're okay, we'll send a proposal, sign it, and come back and get it done quickly. That monthly fee is so much, more like a lifeblood for us and also for the client. They have to pay out every month, then we have to guarantee something come back, something new every few months. It's hard to maintain, but again, keep it fresh, quite challenging. Yeah.
Do you have any questions from the floor so far? Okay, I'll carry on. Next question is for Lindsey. So what do you think are the pros and cons for professional services such as Meow Media to completely operate on a subscription-based business model?
So one of the benefits that I mentioned before was because subscription, usually it's prepaid. Then to a business, it means that you're relatively stressless on cash flow. So, we don't work until we get paid. That's definitely a benefit. And then the other major benefit is if you can sell your subscription online and deliver your subscription online, then your whole business becomes scalable. That's also touching on what I said before. Then, no matter where you are, even in Brisbane or in Darwin or in some African countries, as long as there's Wi-Fi, then your business can be sold and can be delivered to multiple countries. Then there's just true scalability over there, which is very attractive to any business owners. And did you ask for the downside, the cons as well? Yeah. Okay, so the downside of operating professional services completely on a subscription model is we miss out on a lot of big major gigs. If you know, like a lot of major marketing gigs, big brands doing big stuff, millions or at least thousands and thousands of marketing budget towards like a product launch, towards an event. We can't do that kind of things because it's not in sync with our major business model, which is a subscription. And also, the more we do subscription, the more small and medium businesses we attract, and that becomes our audience. And these major brands, they're not looking for qualifications, credentials from this space, which is a shame because there could be quite a bit of creativity flowing when you're doing major projects.
Stuff,
and also which means we can't win many marketing awards. So some of you, if you've ever entered or tried marketing awards, they're all about big brands and big numbers. And we serve small business clients, and there's no one giving out marketing awards. There should be one there. Exactly. So
And Jerry, if you were to imagine operating leader accountancy solely on the subscription-based business model, what risks do you foresee?
Well, it's either way, we have to give them up part of the market. Either you aim very high, got returner, that's what you get. Whatever budget you want to spend, we fix it. When you call, we're there, but we have to charge a really big buffer because you never know when they're going to use a lot. If people see the value, we could do it, or we're going to go to the very down. We don't want to talk to you, do the tax return, that's it. That very streamlined. Otherwise, if you try to pick up two markets, it's just no system in place. So that's why in the last few years we still try to figure out what the best way to do the accounting service. We do the timesheets but timesheet charge the service, charge the client by time. It definitely not work. if they see your bill on the time, okay, you called me this day, we went out for lunch this day, but then you charge me for that, and there's a lot of things bad. So we start to restructure the whole thing. Now we try to separate the collection process and also delivery process into two different areas. If you agree on delivering the service, like a quarterly batch or bookkeeping or tax planning, that's the service you permit. That's it. You deliver that part. Accountant only KPI that. Then collection front, they only how you collect it by monthly fee. If you do monthly fee, what's your merchant cost? What's your time being spent? How much time you need to chase up? If you're doing invoice, how are you going to cost you more time? We try to separate the collection process and also deliver process separately. Otherwise, accountant get confused. Okay, you got this client pay you monthly fee for 3 months now. You're not delivering anything. So during Wednesday, we're really behind all the delivery because we're chasing new client, getting new client in. We're doing all the urgent job, but the monthly fee we've been overlooked. So that's a client. Sometimes we under service. So we start to changing things around. Okay, accountant look after your client. That's the service you deliver. That's your time, hours, budget, and collection is separate. So we try to do that separate. It's good and bad. It's always as long as you're happy, client happy. Yeah, everything happy, all good. Yeah.
So as you deliver results.
Yeah, it is.
So in both of your companions, what type of clients, say in terms of the characteristics or the business needs, are ideal for the subscription business model? To take up your subscription service.
So what's the ideal clients
Yes.
for subscription services? Clients who leave us alone. No, just kidding. Well, that's definitely a good character for sure, like a total trust. Awesome.
Yeah.
But most importantly, they have clear KPIs and then they know what are the things that they will measure our performance on. It would be great if it's quantifiable. Then we have a very clear goal. You know, it becomes a matter of hit or miss. We know if the client is happy when they're not happy. The difficult situation is when the client doesn't know what they want, or they want a lot of things, or they change what they want constantly. So that's when we need to really take time and energy to help them to figure out what exactly is important to them. So clear KPI, definitely very good client character for service subscriptions. And then the other one would be, you know, a client who is very committed to their product and their business in general. What I mean is, like, some clients, they have a lot of ideas going on. They try different things, but then if a client is very committed to their, you know, product optimization, constantly improving their products, and very determined to, you know, get into the market, penetrate the market, and actually achieve something in that market, then, you know, they and Meow Media together, it's like a very strong alliance, because we are doing the marketing part, but we can't do much about the product as an agency. So it has to be like a win-win situation, and then we can make a lot of money together.
True. It's very similar. I think for us, if we see some client, they say what's your price or how much you charge first, we normally say, okay, before we talk about it, what you need from us, what's happening, what's going on, then we put in proposal in place. Is that something you want? We can achieve this by charging this much. We try to spot the price shopper a bit earlier, because it doesn't matter how much you discount you're given, they always find something cheaper. They always come back, okay, we got this quote, and that's your quote, it's half the price, can you beat it? I think, what's the point? Just go for it. Yeah, just but they want to go good quality and also cheaper price. That doesn't work out. So and not those clients. Sometimes we undercharge the client for delivery at the early stage implementation. If they are on difficulty, as long as they're paying that much, we agree on service is different. Is as long as we deliver the service we promise, and also they understand what within the monthly fee or the package, they reasonable. We don't mind. We always deliver a little bit extra, as long as they understand that's what's included, what's not included. And also, I feel the confident I can explain that to my client. I'm happy with it. Yeah, again, just more like if you monthly client, very hard to say bye in 1 or 2 months. They're always consistent with you every year, so it's more like a relationship. If we want to spend that much time every year together for that price, how are we going to spend the time? That's very important for us too.
So that relates to the value that you provide for the money that they paid for you.
Yeah, and match their expectation as well. They can't have a super high expectation. We can't. Yeah.
It's true.
Okay. So for now, what are some of the digital tools that you use to support your subscription business model? And can you recommend a few tools for us?
Yeah.
I think for payment, a lot of the subscription businesses are using Stripe as a payment gateway, which is very merchant friendly for just getting subscriptions, changing them, cancellation, all that. And for other tools, let's come back to the subscription model. Everything has to be productized, and if you can standardize it as much as possible, that would be great. So if you want to keep the ongoing fee low for your clients and provide more value, then it requires a lot of automation. But for the professional services industry, we're traditionally very much trading on time. So it's how much time we put in. And then, with all the digital tools coming up, and then you figure out like some of the little tools can help you reduce 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 15 minutes, and then you can all productize that into the subscription model. Then you're actually providing more value. So we use Zapier for some workflows, tasks. Yes, we use HubSpot Sales for business development as well as servicing. Yes, CRM, the sales tools and the marketing tools. We also use Google Data Studio for automating the reports on a weekly or monthly basis, which saves us a lot of time What about Jerry?
Any tools?
Yeah, we got a fair bit, but yeah. For the collection process, we get everything we can on the market. Client can pay online by click on the invoice, the link on the invoice. They can come in to use a credit card. They can pay Alipay, WeChat, anything. We can think about any possibility they want to pay. We got it.
We got it too, but I'll tell you something you finish first. So we have Alipay and WeChat Pay too. We set that up, and then we figured out we can't use them because Alipay and WeChat Pay, they don't support recurring billing. It has to be do they?
Human.
Have to be initiated from the buyer every time. So every time they feel the pain of buying, and every time it gives them a chance of reconsidering. so that's why we still like Stripe better.
No, we got a mix of different service and a different product, and a lot of more like when you want to set up a business, they set up a company, but company always set up before the bank account open. So they have to use their personal money or get the process kick in. Repeating, definitely we're using practice ignition. Is pretty much, they got it's accounting tool for accounting. It pretty much set up the engagement template, different term and condition, and also set up your task workflow into the workflow max. So that is something we still currently use. It's not too bad, just a little bit less customization we want, but it's okay. We're still using a client get used to it. They're still paying monthly fee. But if they're just paying the bill, they haven't got a credit card detail with the system, we offer everything. Other than jewelry, everything pretty much we're okay. And then for the internal management, we found the huge pain because we change over from time billing to a product delivery service. And also a lot of majority accounting software based in for traditional accounting firm, which want to do the timesheet. All the job is tracking by time, and all the WIP, all the work in progress tracked by the time. And it's a little bit disconnect from what we want to deliver or want the accountant to see. So we tried Trello. We tried a few other automation are right. I think the auto project management system, they just bit of an overkill for us. So we scaled back a bit, and now we built our own system in place. We still developing that in the first stage now. We we are managing all the tasks the way we want to, and then also they sync all the database we have. It's more like speed up the way we do, and also because the day of today is just software development is so less expensive than before. So we got a one person programmer sitting in our office, but we still can do it. So it's not a huge amount of cost, but we feel the huge benefit by get the software get used to us. We used to try to fit in some software, but we find so struggle. We spend so much more time than before. And then one stage we scope back to Excel, and then now we scope back to the system again. So yeah, I think just as long as you find the right system that help you to fit you, that's much better. Yeah.
Okay, my last question, Lindsey and Jerry. So, what is the number one success factor for growing subscription business model?
Number one success factor.
Yes.
Still thinking.
Yeah.
Okay. I would say something like add value or deliver results, but that's universal for any kind of services.
Yeah.
Success factor. They are success factors, but it wouldn't be the number one success factor for subscription businesses. I think, in summary, I think it's still to be able to offer high value services on a low ongoing rate. As to how to do that, that's when we need to be creative. Because we're in for the long term, subscription business owners, we're banking on the long term. We look at customer lifetime value, and we have the potential to prolong that customer lifetime value as much as possible. So the ongoing rate needs to be lower than the market rate, or the rate that they pay if they do it on a one-off basis. And then it still has to be high value so that you make yourself irreplaceable. Like if you're think about Netflix, $12 per month, you can't even buy one DVD with that monthly subscription. Apple Music, same thing. Can't even buy one album with $13, $11. So professional services, very time driven, but with all the digital tools coming up, there are a lot of automation, a lot of productization we can do, and we just aim for the goal. Like we want to offer world-class, crafty services, but we still selling it on a very low ongoing rate.
Yeah, I feel the same. Just for me, I find because all the clients have different rate every month. It's because it depends on what they need and how much time we need to spend, what resource we need to put in, what risks they have, and how much we're going to cover, and how the service is deliver. So most of the clients have a different rate. So for me, it's to define the rate we're going to put in place. We can't be high, but we can't live without buffer. So I agree with the point you bring up is if you're not efficient, you don't have much buffer. If you're really efficient enough, you got good enough buffer, you're going to over-deliver the expectation. So you're going to be so much easier. Otherwise, you're just so close to the line, you don't have anything extra to deliver on the table. Sooner or later, everyone will get bored. Because you get bored and the client get bored. You just have no money to surprise them to buy a Valentine's gift. So, we tried. That's why we start to streamline all the process, simplify all the communication, make sure all the communication is delivered, all the permits delivered, and then we still have some buffer. And then during that time, we use that resource to see, anything we can help extra. Price increase and also difficult as well. So
that's really good. I agree.
Yeah.
Okay, so do I have any questions from the floor?
I have a question for Lindsey.
Yes.
So Lindsey, have you ever come across a client who likes your service but doesn't like your way forbidding, they don't like subscription billing.
Oh, all the time.
How did you convince them to accept
Yeah.
the subscription model?
Yeah. Well, initially I would tell them, like, we're a boutique marketing agency. We don't have that collection process. We don't know how to invoice you. So all the clients, we only take credit cards. Plus, if you're, advertising on Google or on Facebook, you use credit card already. Like, what's the difference for paying the service? Like, treat us as Google or Facebook using credit cards as well. To like, why when it comes to us, then we're so dodgy people. Like, we have the bank transfer, but with Google and Facebook, here's my card. But if that doesn't work, which sometimes doesn't, we tell them, you know what, it's actually beneficial for you. Firstly, you get points on your card. Well, a lot of them, they don't care about that points because it's not their own points. But then the second I tell them, within 3 months, if you're not happy with our service or we didn't deliver what you want, you can dispute the charge. With invoicing and bank transfers, who are you disputing against? When you can't get that money back anymore. So actually paying by credit card is provides more benefits to the clients. Yeah. True. Normally it works. There was one cemetery in Sydney, they're a government-run cemeteries, and their CFO had a major issue paying credit cards. I don't know, they probably had a really horrible experiences in the past. So I have to give him my personal mobile number, my address, so that he can have this one person to chase after if anything happens. So So for now, all our clients are all on credit cards, and we've been sticking to that, all the time.
Good point. Yeah.
Any more questions? Yeah.
So you guys probably have already touched on that. So a higher value client, your ideal client, and you also obviously have low value client. We call it good client, bad client. How can you upgrade that average client to a good client, or how can you persuade them to increase the monthly subscription fees?
Yeah, I've got one client here. Sam's been with me for a long time. Sam. One of my long-term clients for 4 or 5 years now. We try not increase too much. Because he's very nice. He's not picking up anything, but he's special. He's very special. We put it on the top, and we differentiate different clients. Some clients just definitely, they doesn't matter how cheap you want, they still think that's too expensive for them. Again, it's no right or wrong answer really. Just if we're not happy, we just better not to do anything. Otherwise, if you give the discount, you take it the client, it's so hard to get rid of it. It's just more like once you buy it, and then they will say, okay, why you buy me? That's you are my client, you look after me. You want me go? No, I'm not going anywhere. Fix it. Because also the accountant have so many confidential things. We pretty much when they come to us, they talk to everything. They family, secret, and anything. You never know what they're going to tell you. And so if you say, okay, we better stop the relationship, sometimes the client, we have some of that. It's, why you stop it? Why you stop charging me? Charge me. I say, no, we resign. We resign from your business. You're not my client. I say, no, charge it. That's okay. How much more you want? I say, no. So sometimes it's a bit hard, but it's, I guess, just doesn't matter how much you charge, as long as you say, okay, that's not the right client for you. Step away,
That's also the benefit of offering the no locking contracts services, because then we can get out. Sometimes if it's not working out the relationship, or they're just constantly pressing more out of us, then we have a way out too.
True.
So that's for sure. But coming back to our question, so how to upsell clients from a low value subscription to a high value subscription? I think normally we would only upsell a client after we worked with them for about half a year to a year, and also we've already climbed the major part of the learning curve. Like we had a very good understanding of their businesses, and then we suggest other components of the service units we have to them, and we would have a pretty good idea that it will work well for them. That's how we upsell them.
Yeah, value again, value.
Exactly.
If you want to increase by $10, what's the value in it?
Yeah.
Yeah. So pretty much the same. Yeah.
And by that time, they would have already built some trust in us too, because they've worked with us. Makes it a lot easier for us to upsell them to another services.
Yeah, if you save more tax, very easy to say, okay, that's pretty hard work. We have to do a bit more this year.
Yeah.
Do a little bit more. If you want keep doing it, that's the fee we have to charge, cover the cost. Last time we only charge, but this time we have to reflect the rate we have to. If client trusts you, normally it's easy conversation, but we still have to bring up the conversation. Otherwise, when they see the increase, why? No one tell me. Let's break up the communication fair bit. It's trust. Well, so many years of trust. If you do something wrong, that can easily break.
All right, so that's the end of the interview. Thank you, Jerry
Thanks so
and
much.
Lindsey, for your time and
Thank
your
you.
insights.